Hey, Shawnee from SpeedCubeReview.com. I just went to my first FMC competition of the year. It's been a while, and I've been practicing a whole new method, and I'm excited about it. I want to talk about it. The mean wasn't anything crazy. It was a 27. It is better than my old one. Should have been a 26.3 because I found a better solution with a minute left, but didn't have a chance to write it down. What I want to do today is just go through those solutions, but talk about the future of FMC. And so at the end of the video, I'm going to talk about what I could do better and what I need to do to really go from where I am averaging to like the top. Right now, I'm in around the top 50 in North America. I don't think I'm doing anything great. Top 50 is nice. Matt's Volk once said to me, he's like, "You're real good at FMC, aren't you?" I don't think that's the case, but it's very relative. And the future of FMC is right now doing HTR, half turn reduction. And I've been so reluctant to do it, mainly because it was boring and also because I didn't quite understand it. I made a video in 2019 that a lot of people have watched for FMC, and I did not include HTR because I actually made some mistakes in it and just not going to include it. And I didn't want to make any other video until I understood it. This summer, I'm going to make that video. I'm going to make a bunch of new FMC videos, the rules of it, some basics again with edge orientation, NIST, block building, but domino reduction and half turn reduction. And so what I'm going to do now is just go through these solves kind of quickly. So if you understand this stuff, great. If you don't, just kind of be along for the ride, and by the end, hopefully something will click and something to be excited for later on. So to start off, here is the scramble. Every single solve is going to be HTR. So first I write a bunch of edge orientations and then go to domino reduction and then go to half turn reduction and then hopefully just finish from there. So I'll start with the scramble. And I did this 4-move EO. So the front and back are oriented, meaning all edges can be solved without having to do a 90-degree turn here. Then RZP, if you see that, that basically means setting up for domino reduction. It's a little bit of a joke that it was, I believe it's an abbreviation of a Polish word meaning to kind of do random moves. I need to look up the exact definition, but I set up where now I have only 4 corners misoriented and 4 edges. And basically it's setting it up so you can get all your corners and edges oriented with 1 move. So now I have DR, and you can see the way that looks, all white and yellow on top. And here I did a little bit of inverse. And instead of going all the way back and all the way forward, I'll do this inverse. Because what I did was I did all of this inverted, did the scramble inverted, found that. But this domino reduction, the way this looks, tells me that I can solve half turn in only 2 quarter turns, meaning I only have to do 2 U or D moves. And I tried it all on the forward. You can see here, it's a little bit of a mess. So D, R2. And if I'm going to be real honest, I actually did it on the forward with this hot mess first. Turned out I did the exact same thing as this, just backwards. So I could have done this, but this is a little bit more cleaned up. So I did those 2 moves. And now D2, F2, and once again, it's setting it up. So 4 corners, 4 edges, and now half turn reduction. And from here, what I did during the solve was I have trouble finishing it just straight up. I tend to get a little bit lost with it. So in 6 moves, I got it to 2 edges out of place. So 4 edges total, 2E, 2E. And then I inserted an algorithm to finish it. But I could have just done it straightforward. B2, D2, L2, U2, R2, F2, L2, F2. And in 27 moves, it's now solved. And I think that's my favorite thing about HTR is you can just finish. You can just go from the solved cube and as long as you're efficient with it, just finish the puzzle. You're not doing like a PLL algorithm or something like that. What did I do there? Let's go to Scramble 2. Now, Scramble 2 is the one that I got a 30 on that I could have gotten a 28. So I'm going to show you that 28. 8. So the 30 was here. I had, what was it? I think 6 edges in 22, 8 minus 3, 8 minus 5. And that got me the 30. But I found a 28 with like 1 minute left, and I just had no time to insert it. Here's the scramble again. I'm counting it as a 28 in my mind. And again, I found a bunch of EOs. I spent more time finding domino reductions. I told myself, do more. And I'm going to talk about that at the end. But I did a lot more and found a bunch more setups, that RZP, and then 3/4 turns, 4/4 turns, 5/4 turns, 5/4 turns, finding which one is the best. Since I did quite a bit on the inverse, I'm going to do the inverse first. Okay, inverse, B, L2, U prime, B, D, L. Actually, so this was EO on the front and back, and then I did DL to set up where I have 4 corners out of place and 4 edges. And then I went back to the forward, to the regular, I guess. So L prime, D prime, B prime, U, L2, B prime, the scramble. Okay, and then I finished DR. And this DR took 13 moves total, and I know there's 3/4 turns needed to solve this. Now what you might notice is there's a bunch of other 90-degree moves here. So I'll do the first, U, F2, U. Now if I hold it this way, it's a little more clear. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 edges, or corners, I mean. Sorry, 1, 2 edges, and then this edge and this edge. F prime, B prime, U2, F prime, B, U prime, which got me to here, and then just finished the rest. Gave me kind of a good ending, D2, R2, L2, F2, L2, B2. Okay, so as you can see, you're starting to see a pattern with the setups and how this works out. HTR, I struggled with it, half because I didn't understand it, but also it just was boring. It was so boring. It wasn't creative, didn't feel creative, and it took me a while to finally find the fun in it. And what I found fun in it was the strategy, almost as if you're like hacking a software and you're trying to find the shortest path, or you're hacking a maze, I guess would be a better analogy. So this last scramble was wild. It had a lot of really nice blocks going on, and actually just initially started with a bunch of block building, and I was like, nope, HTR, just focus on that. I did one move on the regular and then did a lot on the inverse. So I'm going to start with that regular, and I'll do a U and then do the inverse. And what that U was the entire EO. It was a 1-move EO. I was talking to somebody earlier in the day that I struggle with looking at U and D and doing an EO on that. Just the colors don't add up in my head as well as front, back, or left, right. And multiple people there said that they just turn the cube 90 degrees because they get confused with it too. I'm going to try to practice it the right way and get used to it. But B prime, L prime got me to where I'm going to hold it like this. 1, 2, 4 corners, and 1, 2, 3, 4 edges. And then finished my domino reduction. So now you can see it's domino reduction, but we have blue and green this time. And this is where I missed something huge. I'll talk about that in a moment. Now I am going to just put this aside. I did one move on the forward, and then I went back to inverse. I tried a bunch of things, so it wasn't just random. But I'm going to do that and then work my way back again. So F prime, U. It was 3/4 turns to solve this. So that's one of the 3. Okay, then B prime, L prime, B2, U2, B, F prime, R2, F prime, R prime, F2, U2. Yeah, F2, U2, F, U2, F2, R2. And we can look this way that we now have, where is it at? Yeah, no. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4 corners. See, I didn't want to think of it with U and D. 1, 2, 3, 4 corners, 1, 2, 3, 4 edges. And I can just do a B to line that up. And then I can finish this by just doing D2, R2, U2, F2, L2, U2. like that. And I got a 24, happy with the 24. What I need to do to go from 27, 26 mean to 21 or 20. And like I got an 18 at home. It was lucky that I found that at 18 because I tried a bunch of things. What I am not doing is I am not trying enough. And you can use programs like, there's a program called Nissy. There's one called Mallard, which is more easy to use, but Nissy can do a lot more in my opinion. And I can check, give me all of the edge orientations, all the EOs that are 4 moves or less. Give me all the domino reductions, or from this domino reduction, solve HTR in the fewest amount of moves and things like that. What I found is for most of my solves, I am very efficient, if not the most efficient I can be at a certain step. Meaning I might have a domino reduction to 14 that I did in 14 moves that can be solved in 3/4 turns. And the most efficient I can do from there is maybe a 28. Like, I get to a point where that's the best I can do. And so the problem is not that I'm just not solving it the rest of the way better. I need to drop that solve, that start, and go to something else. So right here, what ended up happening, that B prime, L prime, I found that I was like, wow, 3 moves to setting this up, and that looks real nice. I'm just going to do that. I didn't check that if I just did B and did DR on that front and back, that this could have been done in like 6 moves, I believe. Which instead of being 3/4 turns would have been 2/4 turns, which would have been much easier. I just didn't see it. And someone got a 19 on this one, and it was very obvious. It was very clear to find at least something lower than a 24. From what I've been doing, the solves I have so far have been real efficient with not trying as much as I need to. And that's what I found too, and I mentioned this in my larger FMC video. Even if you do CFOP, you need to try more. So you've got to get fast to be able to scramble, unscramble, move, things like that. Doug Lee, who won this competition, just does block building, got a 22 sum mean, and tries a lot, even if he's not turning super fast. He's just can see those things. You can do block building, but 99% of people are going to do HTR that are in that top level. So am I happy with this? Yeah, it's above what I thought it would be. That 24 was great. I kind of wish I got that 28 down. I'm happy with it. I'm definitely getting better, and I'm getting better at something that I struggled with for like the past 5 years to even comprehend. That video is going to be out later this year. Now, if you look into HTR before I make that video, there's 2 main approaches. There's a one Jaden McNeil does that is very, I would say, algorithmic. So there's different sections that are like, this is 4C2 or 3B. I actually don't quite know it. I want to research that before I make a video on it, because I do a different one that is called hyperparity. And you can find that video on YouTube. I'll put a link below right now. I had to re-explain it to myself. Like, I redrew how hyperparity works, and I have sort of my own approach of explaining it to people. I will probably be making the video on the hyperparity method of finding it. And because actually, I don't know if it was, yeah, these little things are the map. That's a little map of different ways. I actually just did that one. I didn't test that one, that map, that way of doing it. But those lines are my map of the maze, of solving it and getting back to where we need to go. Hopefully I can do more FMC. I'm excited about it. I feel like that passion is back. So again, thank you for watching. Hit like and subscribe for more content like this in the future. And as always, keep following SpeedCube Review for more news and reviews.